Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 28 of the Battleship Brawls Season 4 tournament. This episode we've got the Revenge of the Return of the Curse of Oyoshiro-sama by the Brisby Mouse, going up against the USS Montana by Greyfell. We've taken a look at both of those ships before, so we can get right to the action. Get things started. Montana immediately opening up with a shot, and with the curse being straight on, those might actually land depending on where it was aimed. Yep, that's a hit to the stern. The curse's return volley also hitting the stern of the Montana. It looked like it did some pretty serious damage. It damaged one of the turrets on the back there, or both of the rear turrets. That might actually be spaced armor, and that's why it looks like it did so much. Maybe it wasn't, I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to tell when everything's full of explosion. So after the initial exchange, the curse is down to 96%, while the Montana's at 97, well, now it's at 96 as well. So it's a pretty even fight so far. So a lot of this is going to come down to whose guns survive the longest, probably. Because they seem pretty evenly matched, otherwise the curse might be a little bit less armored, it seems. Curse is turning away from the battle at the moment, trying to create some distance. Ooh, and that gun just got hit pretty good. All three of those shells landed right in the face of the gun. Looks like we got some explosion coring in there. A little difficult to see exactly where and how that turret got disabled, but it happened. The curse is down to 93%, while the Montana's at 95%, so still a pretty close battle. It's a pretty durable ship. I mean, it just doesn't really take damage. Like, the hull just, it gets hit and it doesn't care. It also doesn't have any repairs, though, it seems. Whereas the curse has been repairing away and has used up just about half of its materials. All three of its forward guns are disabled. One of its rear turrets is still fully functional, the other one has some barrel damage. Looks like the Montana's having some... It looked like he was having some aiming issues. Some of those shells are dunking really short. Another one of those issues with the each individual firing piece not having its own local weapon controller, so the turret is trying to aim with one specific barrel. Since the other barrels are of different lengths at this range, it makes a big difference in where the shell lands. Montana taking a hit to the side there. Both ships have actually have some heavy weapon. Oh, that shell actually bounced off the deck of the Montana. But both ships actually have some pretty severe weapons damage. So this is a pretty close fight. Though once the curse runs out of materials, I think that gap will widen significantly. Because the fact that it's that close and the curse is out of materials while the Montana really hasn't used any, basically. Anyway, as I was saying, kind of trailed off there. The Curse has used 12,000 materials to repair itself. Montana's used like 300, and it's a you know, close match. So if the weapons were still fully functional on both sides, the Curse would be in some serious trouble. It's still in a little bit of trouble, but if it can land some good shots to the Montana's remaining weapons, then it could possibly come back. I keep trailing off today. I keep getting distracted by watching the battle myself and just stop talking in the middle of my commentary. I guess I'm still not... I'm feeling better, but I guess I'm still not, like, fully recovered from being sick yesterday. Oh, you actually managed to over-penetrate through the deck of the Montana and fall out the bottom of the ship without exploding. That's pretty impressive. Montana's having issues keeping its gun. I don't even know if this gun is still active, actually. It might be, but it's having a bit of issue. Oh, I just noticed the Montana has racked up 49 seconds of DQ time. It took a while to get turned around, it seems. Sailed a bit out of range. That's dangerous. It can't do that again. It will get disqualified and lose this round when it almost has a big enough lead to claim this as a win. But it's 4.6% ahead, and it needs a minimum of 5, otherwise the round is a draw. Taking a big hit there. This turret seems to have survived, but it did lose more barrel. And now it's sailing away from the opponent again. Careful now, Montana. You're awfully far and you're pointed directly away. If you sail out of range, you're not going to have time to get yourself turned about and get back in range. Uh-oh. The DQ timer's ticking. You got 5 seconds, Montana. It's not gonna do it. It's not gonna make it. Kaboom. The Montana has disqualified itself for fleeing the battle, giving the victory to the Curse. That is the end of round 1. We will go ahead and get this restarted. Get round 2 underway. Maybe this time the Montana will stay in range. It wasn't doing that in the initial parts of the match. It must have taken damage to its JBGs and just couldn't make the turns anymore. And both initial volleys from the ships, pretty much exactly the same as they were in the first round. Oh, except the damage to the Montana was more severe this time. It completely lost the turret. ships are pretty much even in HP this time around. Before, at this point, I think if I remember right, the Montana was slightly ahead. In round 1, and yeah, it basically is now. This is looking a lot like round 1 so far. Oof, that turret got disabled. Except the Montana didn't lose a gun quite that early in the first round. Not off the first volley, anyway. Curse is turning away to get some distance. Still taking some hits, though. Let's go check on the Montana, see how it's doing. Oof, it has lost most of its guns. It has 2 turrets still functional, and one of them only has a single barrel, if that. I'm not... Yep, okay, that one barrel is still functional. Oh, not anymore. Not anymore. And yet, somehow, the Montana is ahead in HP, because it's just been losing its guns and not really taking any hull damage. Oh, and it just lost another gun. Well, no, it didn't lose, it just took some barrel damage. Oh, those shells are awfully close to that turret. Not quite, though. Ooh, ooh. Oh, and another. And 2 more guns bite the dust, leaving only a single gun left on the Montana to fight with. Everything else has been destroyed or disabled. And to be in this bad a state while at 93% health, that sucks. Like, the ship is still in really good condition, except for the fact that it has no guns. Oh, and that turret is taking more hits. now that one remaining gun has taken barrel damage. And I don't even know if it's going to be able to fire without hitting its own turret cap. Oh, apparently it is. But is it aiming properly with that gun? That was fairly close. I think it's aiming properly. The curse was just mid-turn, so the shell missed. So the Montana has a chance. It still has a gun left, you know, to do damage, but it's not looking good. And the curse, now that it's not taking so much damage, has managed to repair itself a bunch, and it's actually got the 5% lead it needs to win this battle. Oh, and the last gun on the Montana is disabled. It has nothing to fight back with. And there we are, folks. That is the end of round 2, with the curse having a substantial lead of almost 14%. So it is the victor of round 2 and the winner of the match. So congratulations to Brisby Mouse there. And as always, the Hall of Beauty votes for both of these ships will be down in the description, as well as you know, my Patreon, Discord, forum, all that stuff. All that stuff I always talk about at the end of every video. It's like, I'm sure you guys get it by now. I don't know why I keep saying it. It's just a YouTube thing, I guess. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.